And welcome in, fans of NWHL hockey, to tonight's game here at, once again, a capacity crowd, Warrior Ice Arena in Boston, Massachusetts, as it's the Boston Pride taking on the Connecticut Whale. Boston Pride 8-0-0, Connecticut Whale the exact opposite, 0-5-1 coming into this contest, but we will certainly talk more about that. I'm Sam Fryman, proud to be back with you on the call here on Twitch TV, and Erica Ayala alongside me, a media member who knows these Connecticut Whale very well. And Erica, this is your classic example of a trap game. The Boston Pride, they have not taken a loss this season. The Connecticut Whale, they have not gotten a win this season, but looking at their last few games especially, they can put up goals. Their last time out against the Buffalo Buttes had them in a 1-0 game until about the final 6 minutes of that contest. So this is a team just poised to break through, especially in a contest like this, when I think, frankly, very few people are giving them a chance in this one.
You know, I think you're right that no one is expecting much from this Connecticut Whale team except for this Connecticut Whale team. And one thing that Sonia Shelley told me after the last game is that, quite honestly and respectfully, this Connecticut team is tired of only playing Buffalo and the Minnesota Whitecaps that one time, but they are chomping at the bit for their chance at the #1 seed.
First time they've played the Boston Pride this season. Boston, they're coming off of a 6-1 win against those aforementioned Buffalo Buttes. They come into this game with a few of the top goal scorers in the league. Looking at the statistics, they've actually got 5 scorers right now in the double digits. The rest of the league combined only with 2. And talking to Colton Orr before the game, I think that was the biggest thing he stressed on this Boston Pride team, not only scoring more goals, but getting on them early, which is what nearly every team has failed to do thus far this season.
That's important. You mentioned Colton Orr. Yes, he is with the team. This is his first official game with the Connecticut Whale, but again, like his players, he's ready to take on this Boston Pride team, and of course he knows their bench boss.
Their bench boss, Paul Mara, the two of them were teammates about a decade ago in the NHL ranks, both with the New York Rangers. But very much enemies tonight as their two teams go at it.
And we're being reminded in the comments that it's more than just the players that have faith in the Connecticut Whale. First you get the emote, and of course now the Whale fans are looking for a win.
And definitely a couple of them here. I see them with good ranks, some good green, blue, and white jerseys. Both captains for a ceremonial puck drop here at center ice. Boston had those military jerseys last time out, back to the normal yellow with black trim.
As I understand, those military appreciation jerseys are now up for auction, so if you want your piece of NWHL history, go check that out. I believe the Boston Pride Twitter account tweeted that out earlier today.
And definitely go for those if they're for worthy calls. But we will now pause for the anthem before this game gets started. Anthem over. And I have to agree with the comments in there from Aussie Popeye. Quite a shirt wearing the red, white, and blue. But pomp and circumstance over. We're ready for a hockey game here at Warrior Ice Arena. The Boston Pride and the Connecticut Whale. As the Pride, this is home game number 8 for them on the season. Just road game number 3 for the Connecticut Whale, where they've managed their only points of this season on the road, an overtime loss.
And that was to the aforementioned Buffalo Beauts.
They've played them, has it been 5 times already this season, the Beauts?
About 4 or 5, I believe. It would have been 4 because they have 6 games coming in and they played Minnesota twice.
That is correct. And getting the start for them, the woman who has started all 6 games for them so far, number 31, Sonia Shelley, comes in with a record just like the team, 0-5-1, a goals against average of 3.50 and an 8.83 save percentage. And it's going to be not business as usual for the Boston Pride, as officially starting her first game with a brand new mask and a brand new set of pads minus the glove,
Sans
Victoria
the glove.
Hansen.
That's right. And we've been able to see Victoria Hansen a few times here at Warrior Ice Arena, but I believe this is her first official start.
First official start of the season coming out of Boston University, but still some very good numbers in the appearances she has made in relief, so she is as capable a backup as any to Lavisa Solander.
That's right. And can't overstate enough how much we like those pads. And both have new helmets as well.
And it's going to be top line versus top line as the puck is dropped, and we are underway. Boston quickly trying to work in the offensive zone. Christina Putinha getting it off the wall, tries to work down low, tried to find Brand at the side of the net, but she couldn't get a shot off. She picks it up instead. Now turning and pestered closely there is Putinha. This top line, the deadliest in the NWHL, and that's why they start out. Kaylee Fratkin, she keeps that puck in at the right point. Had 3 assists her last time out. Rebound comes right in front of the net, trying to backhand it through, and poking away at it was Dempsey, but Shelley able to stick the puck out.
And then Orlando wipes that away, but they haven't gotten it out of the zone yet.
And banking it off the glass and doing just that will be Emma Vlasic. So top line also starting out for the Whale, and they will go in on the forecheck now, trying to pick up the puck from the half wall, but now they have to make changes. And working out up through the middle, pass couldn't connect to Mary Parker, and that did not touch a stick, so that will be our first icing call, exactly 1 minute through period number 1.
Shout out to everyone that is following along on Twitch TV. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight. And make sure you let us know where you're from. We saw the conversation, the cold weather all across the convo.
Some weather forecasts that were very much in the negatives for both Fahrenheit and Celsius, so I don't think I'd want to touch that kind of weather, but definitely let us know where you're from, how you're watching, and who may get the first goal in this game. Might be pretty easy money to put a bet on a Boston Pride player, as they have done so in every game so far this season, but the Whale, they're coming out strong right now, and they have control of the puck with 1.5 minutes gone. And turning with it now, that's a new defense combination, Taylor Marchand and Hannah Beatty. And trying to bank it off the glass, it's gotten ahead for Casey Anderson out of Minnesota. And she has it at center ice, but picking it up in the skates, Lexi Lang. Leads the NWHL in game-winning goals, does number 16 for Boston. Again, we haven't seen Connecticut quite with a full-on zone entry and pressure, as these passes really connecting for Boston, as it's gotten on the wing to Sullivan, tries to send it back into the middle for Lang, couldn't quite get it on the blade of her stick. And just holding it in at the blue line there, Lauren Kelly. She's in there with her defense partner, Lexi Bender. And Connecticut gets it out to center, but trying to intercept that pass, Carly Taves was actually still offside. So definitely one of the keys for Connecticut going into this game is just keep up that grittiness that's gotten you here so far. This is a team that can definitely force you to play very close games. We mentioned that last contest against the Buffalo Beauts, kept it scoreless for a relatively long amount of time, and really kept the Beauts on their heels up until the very last minutes of that game.
Yes, they have patches that are very, very good here for the Connecticut Whale. I think it's just a matter of putting all the pieces together.
And I'm seeing a couple of warmer forecasts, actually, in the chat. A couple 70s in California. Boy, I wish that was the case. And Connecticut, they get control off of the draw. Trying to win that was Orlando, but Jillian Dempsey takes it right back, gets it to the side of the net, couldn't feed it in front, was Christina Putinha. A good job intercepting these passes so far for the Boston Pride as Rowe tries to take it right back in the other end. But Vlasic digs it out. Rowe going to go right back in. Numbers for Boston. Brand gets it to him. She fires. Glove save by Sonia Shelley. Her first time flashing the leather this evening, so a stoppage with just about 3 minutes gone in period number 1.
A nice, cool, calm, and collected save by Sonia Shelley. Cool, calm, and collected. But I see that we have some folks joining us from Texas. We've got some folks in California where it's a chilly 71 degrees, I'm told. Sam?
That is quite chilly out there for the LA days, as my sister, who living out there, can definitely attest. When it's in the 60s, she says it's a bitter cold front.
Well, in here alone, I'm not sure it's 60 degrees.
Definitely not inside this rink, but if we were to measure the human temperature, again, this is a capacity crowd with everyone spilling over in the media deck, watching right behind us. It is great to see. As Connecticut digging it out of their own end. Once again, Houston trying to move it farther up, but again, that puck taken away just as quickly. And it's that forecheck that the Pride do so well, again, barely allowing Connecticut right now to get much past neutral ice, and if they do, it's only usually with one skater where they're almost forced to dump and chase that puck and make a full sail change.
And this is going to be interesting, Sam, because the Connecticut team tends to be a little bit more sharp and consistent on defense. But if they have trouble on a normal day getting out of the zone against the Pride, I'm very curious to see how they are going to move the puck forward and what they do to combat, as you said, that just insane pressure.
And Emily Fluke gets it right in. A couple fancy stick moves there by Mary Parker. Tried to go backhand, glove side, but she was picked off right before she can get one on. Big stretch pass that was just ahead of Casey Anderson. And now the Connecticut forward has a couple of players ahead of her, but Lexi Bender able to pick it up. We've got just over 4 minutes gone here in period number 1. Still waiting for our first score. Taves gets it ahead to Lang now. She sweeps in for the circle. That's the shot she loves to take. And she tried Shelley with the pads, but she had the answer to the Connecticut goaltender. Now taking it right back out, picking it up on the left wing. Kendra Broad tried to feed it into the middle, and not quite over the blue line there wore the Whale. And we should mention also the new Connecticut Whale addition in this game, Elena Gualteri out of Connecticut College, the Camels, native of Rome, New York, making her first start with this team. And also a big healthy scratch also for the Whale tonight, Kayla Menigan, who actually would have come into this game on a 3-game goal-scoring drought. She is absent from their offense tonight, and a big loss.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to have to see who steps up for Connecticut. They're going to need some players to step up regardless.
Well, we've got 5 minutes gone now in period number 1. Boston, they're still going to work with this top line in the offensive end of the ice. Whale trying to clear. Some big hits applied on the half wall there. Now Putinha has it back at center ice. Trying to pick up that puck was Kleinbach for Connecticut. She cannot do so. Now right back the other way. Vlasic sends it in. Houston going across to Vlasic. She gets it with her backhand in, and saved by Victoria Hansen. That was a very good try from this top line, finally getting in with some pressure, with some numbers, and you see the damage they were almost able to do.
Yes, indeed. We see that people are surprised that the game is scoreless as of yet, but that might have been one of the better chances we saw this evening, Sam.
One of the best ones so far for sure, and that line stays on after applying very good pressure. Vlasic at the half wall. Sends it back with the backhand to Kleinbach, and picking it up now, Mary Parker. Going to try to go back the other way with a lot of speed, the Harvard product. Drops it back off now. Emily Fluke couldn't quite get it into the middle and almost lost control of it, trying to backhand it through along the half wall, but Vlasic's going to get there and just able to clear it past Mallory Soliotis.
Emily Fluke was a big name for this Connecticut Whale franchise, as was Kaylee Fratkin, but now they're both playing on the opposite team.
Think might be a little eager for both of them to score on their former team, as it's picked up right there. A good turnaround try off a steal from Wolfeiler, another former Connecticut Whale player. And now side of the net picked up. Fluke fires a shot, but into the gut of Shelley, and she makes the save with just over 6 minutes gone in the period.
All right, folks, again, thank you for joining us on Twitch TV. A reminder that with that new revenue sharing deal, all of your subs with Twitch TV not only help the NWHL, but they help the players on the ice. So again, we thank you. We thank you so much for tuning in and for subscribing.
And just a couple of you were wanting to know the shots on goal. So far it is now 7-2, Boston leading in that category with about 6.5 minutes gone in period number 1 now. So Connecticut looking to get started, going through a middle, a combination there of
that was Beatty there.
And she gets into the offensive zone, double team now by a combination of Kelly and Bender. Lauren Kelly will try to clear, just held in, but now forced back to center. And working away at that puck, a couple changes abound. Now Sullivan, she was double teamed there. Boston forced to playing a clearing game out of their own end. But now getting it at the wing. McKenna Brand gonna take it, comes into the middle. She's got nothing but green jerseys around her and no offensive support. So the Whale will now look to go in transition. Getting it into the middle now, but losing control of that puck just as quickly was Morissette. That goes back the other way. Into the middle, Christina Putinha. Quick tap pass there for Jillian Dempsey, and she gets in just over the blue line, but the Pride forwards had to touch up. We've got 12:28 to go now in period number 1. And now right back in. Another good steal. The captain Dempsey again tries the glove. Again, Sonia Shelley has the save.
No, except for a little bit earlier in the game, Sam, we haven't really seen the Boston Pride be able to get in too close on Sonia Shelley, and that is a testament to, again, one of what I believe to be the strong suits of the Connecticut Whale is their defense and their blue liners.
Very strong defensive game so far, but if any line's going to go right to the front of the net and attack it, it's going to be this third line out for Boston right now, as getting it right from the circle. Tried a one-timer, did Wolfeiler. But the Whale unable to clear. Wolfeiler going to pick it up right there in the corner, but now it's taken away by Connecticut, and they will work up ice. Brickner tried to get it ahead to Kleinbach. She will get to that puck first in a race with Mallory Soliotis, but both of them had it tied up in their skates, and now Boston will get it free. And from the half wall now up the right wing, Wolfeiler switches places with Fook. Right back to her. Tried the blocker side shot, but didn't quite work. Just held in on the half wall as taking a tumble there was Soliotis. And Whale clear it up the right wing now. So a very good game of back and forth so far. We saw the Whale do this last time out. They're keeping this game close so far, and their chances are starting to come a lot more to them.
We already have folks talking about overtime. Is it too soon? I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. It is still scoreless with 11-17 to go in period number 1, but both teams, they are working away at it for that first goal right now. Good back and forth action as it's chipped into the near side corner. Lexi Bender getting to that before a couple of Connecticut players. But now with a half wall, a good scrap. Beatty couldn't quite get to it. And now some numbers up ice. Lang in ahead. She has some room. Tries to wrist her just over the glove of Shelley, but she's able to deflect it and keep it out. As with all kinds of room around her, Lexi Lang tried to go in off of a great pass from her line mate Carly Taves.
I saw a comment quickly in passing. Hero on the half wall, Shelley Power. If I'm not mistaken, that's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles jingle there, Sam.
That would be. And Carly Taves going to go right back in up the right wing. Good connecting pass to Sullivan. She sends one in on Shelley, and she covers up and makes that save.
I love it. I love it.
And Shelley with the fingertips. That was a very good save. Boston Pride, as they like to do against top goaltenders, make them really earn their keep early in these games, as we're just about at the halfway point of period number 1. And Sonia Shelley, a lot like Victoria Hansen at the other end, I gotta say, very nice lid, very nice pads.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's the holidays early as a goalie when you get some fresh gear.
And I believe that color scheme may still be the St. Lawrence mask for Sonia Shelley as she comes out of that university. Good tump and chase game trying to be applied there by Connecticut, but unable to quite catch up to that was a combination of Kleinbach and Haley Payne.
Yes, and you talk about that color combo for Shelley's lid, probably the same in what we're seeing with Hansen's glove. Not quite the Boston Pride colors there, more Boston University.
But good back and forth, and some good saves so far from both of these goaltenders. Connecticut trying to work with it now, the captain Shannon Doyle, one of a couple of the original NWHLers on this Whale team, as we're going to get a penalty called here. I'm sorry, thought there was going to be a penalty called there. I thought there was a referee with her arm up, and it looked like it was getting taken back the other way, but we're just still 5-on-5, no harm. And getting that off of a deflection from the glass back to the point. Fracken, she takes a slap shot, was trying for a deflection. Now Brand gets it at the circle. Taking it back, will now try to work from the point. Backhands it out of trouble, does McKenna Brand for Fracken along the half wall. She'll switch places with Putina. Now she tries to move in with a lot of screens in front of the net, but she fired that shot high, did number 21. So going right back the other way. And across the blue line, getting it in, was Putina.
Brickner
Now from the half wall, good drag from Soliotis.
Excuse me, it looked like Brickner might have caught that on her hand or something. We'll see if the alternate captain can shake that one off.
Another good catch is trying to send it into the middle. Fluke, she lost control of the puck as she tried to go into the corner now in a good scrap with Erin Hall. But now Wolfeiler able to take it away, the former Whale forward. And she's forced to swing on her off wing. Now drops it off to Mastel, who will send it around the boards looking for Mary Parker. But Pride still with control now. They've taken about a solid minute and a half of offensive zone time away from these Whale, and they still have control of the puck on the half wall. Mary Parker turning with it. She's watched closely, tries to get a shot off, but went off of the stick of Jordan Brickner. And still held in. Into the middle for the Whale now, and they will finally clear, but can't get past that center line. Boston going to come right back in. Mastel from the half wall. She fires one in on the pads. Shelley didn't quite see it at first, but she does hold on to make that save with 8:22 to go.
Looks like it got caught in those new pads of hers, but you know, Mastel is able to pick off that pass, and that's a place where the Connecticut Whale need to improve.
And back to action here at Warrior Ice Arena with 8:12 to go now in period number one. Still trying to work away from it. It's one back to the point. Trying to fire a shot through. Again, gut save by Shelley. And that's where the Boston Pride have been trying a lot of these shots, just not quite as high on Sonia Shelley. We did see her, those couple of early high shots, make very good saves with the gloves, but a lot more of them have been just right down low, trying to either get through 5-hole or trying to make her get a little out of position with the blocker side, and certainly the goalie guild can do a better job at analyzing that positioning than I can.
I'm sure they will for us. We appreciate that. But yeah, I think Shelley also, though, is looking good in net. She's looking confident. She's, there's kind of a zone that you get into as an athlete. It's hard to describe, and I feel like Shelley might be in that zone.
It's almost like a pitcher on the mound. When you get in your rhythm, you just keep firing and you keep feeling it.
Yeah.
But Boston definitely applying the early pressure, trying to go right in on the corner there was the captain, Jillian Dempsey, but she lost control of the puck, and staying right on that left edge was Sonia Shelley. And Connecticut, they're going to look to try some offensive pressure of their own now with 7:27 to go in period number one, still looking for our first score. And unless I'm mistaken, I believe the Boston Pride so far this year have not had a scoreless first period.
That would not surprise me. We're going to have to fact check that, but that seems about right. Whereas Connecticut has held a few opponents scoreless through the first period, and that's that tenacity that we've talked about with this Connecticut team.
And 6:58 to go now in period number one. Connecticut trying to work out of their own end. Here's the captain, Shannon Doyle. Fluke almost took that puck away, but now the combination of Parker and Wolfeiler will do so. Down low to Parker at the circle. She tries the wrister. Now wrap around. She scores! Got the rebound and just swung right around the net where it was wide open on the left post, and keep the hot streak going for Mary Parker as she's now got goals in her last three. 1-0 Boston Pride with 6:45 to go in period number 1.
And that's exactly what you have to do with a goaltender that really is doing everything that she can. But Sonia Shelley got caught out of position, and the Connecticut Whale weren't able to cover up that far post and get the Boston Pride, out of the way.
So make it 9 for 9 games, and the Boston Pride scoring first, but Connecticut Whale, they're right back in on this answer shift and doing a good job in the offensive zone so far. Stapled in against the wall, Gualteri trying to get it right to the front of the net. Couldn't quite connect on that pass, and the Boston Pride will clear out. Hall picking it up for the Whale. And back to the other end. Carly Taves, she works in. Has Lexi Lang behind her. She tries to swing all alone, almost chipped that. Another juicy rebound comes out. Lang couldn't quite get it.
Shelley sealed that post and then used her stick to get that puck out of harm's way.
And on the half wall, looking to work it out now is Schwensfire. She gets it only as far as the middle. Rowe trying to take it away, but she was met by a good shoulder by Casey Anderson. And the Pride forced to recoil. So we've got 5:38 to go now in period number 1. The first Boston Pride goal coming courtesy of Mary Parker.
And it looks like in the comments we have the Atlanta Thrasher and the Ice Garden taking credit for that Boston Pride goal. They hop in the chat. The goal goes up on the board.
Can't beat the analytics of the Ice Garden. I really do go to them constantly for information about this league, trends, statistics, everything. And if you're not following their writing already, fans in the chat, I highly recommend you do.
Shout out to the Ice Garden.
And right back the other way, Lauren Kelly picking it up in aggressively on the forecheck there, trying to take that puck away, Maddie Evangelis, and she almost does so. Now in the corner, Evangelis trying to work behind the net, almost taken away by Dempsey. Couldn't get a centering pass out in front where Vlasic was waiting.
Whale fans know I like how Maddie Evangelis plays, and that is point in case right there. She's scrappy.
Another one of those scrappy small defense ladies. I think you have a theme in liking those players. Her, MJ Peltier, those scrappy
saying.
Little defense ladies.
Listen, size, it's not always the size.
It never matters in this game. As McKenna Brand going to take it right back in from the circle. She tries a good wrister just off of the pads there of Shelley. She didn't see it, and it's in! Think that might be officially credited to McKenna Brand. She swung in and fired a good shot initially.
And Brent says, I'll take it. Why not?
She will gladly take it, as it will be her league-leading 10th goal of the season, her 16th point. She remains on brand, as the fans like to say.
And,
and 4:18 to go in period number 1, now 2-0, Boston Pride.
I was saying Shelley was feeling it. She was feeling the juice, but there was a little bit of hesitation to cover that puck, and then she lost it as there were bodies in front. And McKenna Brand, it looks like, will get credit for popping that puck across the goal line.
And Boston right back to work. Big slap shot, Soliota. She got her own rebound there off of the half wall.
Announced as Lexi Bender's goal.
And might have been just Brand, the last body in there. We'll see if anybody else, the Goalie Guild or one of the other fans, has a deeper analysis. But if that were officially credited to Lexi Bender, that would be her first goal of the season, her 5th point. And now coming right back in, Schwensfire. She fires one, easily sticked high into the air by Victoria Hansen, as we've got 3:25 to go now in period number 1.
It was Schwensfire who ruined Kelsey Newman's bid for the first shutout in the NWHL.
One of the comments here, the Pride score twice in the time it takes you to get a salad. And it was pretty quick officially, the time between those goals. Just about 2:20 as Lexi Lang coming right back in. She was unchallenged, but Sonia Shelley, she remains the wall and keeps that puck out.
And good on Hannah Beatty, who is a two-way player, has been since she came to this Connecticut Whale team. She was able to push that puck into Shelley so she could cover up.
And how about the job Lexi Lang has done so far in this game? She's intercepted a lot of passes, and even when she has one player right on top of her, around her, always comes into the zone with so much speed. and is able to create some offense. Part of the reason why she's top 5 in the NWHL in assists currently.
Oh, she's solid, 100% solid. You know what you're getting out of Lexi Lang every single game. And you know what? I think more so than anyone else, she's one of the more consistent players on this Boston Pride team. I guess up there with probably McKenna Brand and Jillian Dempsey, but always going full throttle.
Well, she is one of those 5 Connecticut Whale players with multiple points. That's a good chance for Connecticut. Right back in. Shot by Kleinbach. Rebound came out right there to Houston. She couldn't finish as well. Victoria Hansen head on a swivel, and now right back the other way. Here comes Brand. Fired just off of the blocker of Shelley. Good back and forth action. There's a couple players getting tripped up there. Dempsey able to get the puck, trying with the backhand. Putinha, she's got her shot blocked aside as we're into the final 2 minutes of period number 1. Off of the half wall, Pride still with control. Dempsey gets it back to the point. And down low, Vlasic will pick up that passing attempt in the circle and will easily chip it back to center ice and into the Boston end. And just great passes connecting all over the place for the Boston Pride, as a couple people in the chat agreeing.
Yeah, we see that, Whale defense needs to tighten up. I would agree with that. We gave them praise earlier, but they really need to remain sharp in this game if they're even going to give the Connecticut Whale a chance against this Boston Pride team.
And right back into the middle, Lexi Bender comes up to break up that one that was intended for Casey Anderson. It will go back the other way. Kelly in a good scrap there with Anderson. Whale trying to take that puck away in the corner. And Pride tried to send it up the wing. Schwensfire going to step onto that one, and she will dump it in as the Whale make a couple changes into the final minute now of period number 1. And Mary Parker, she's got a goal in this game. Tried to send it farther up the left wing, but only gotten in the middle there by Marchant. She will take it in, drops it off for Broad. She tries to get a shot off. Good save by Hansen.
Hansen doing her job here for the Boston Pride team.
She's made every save that would go so far. And the Whale, they will send out their new line. A quick shot fired from the point that only went off of a body, and coming right back the other way, possibly with numbers. Here comes Carly Taves, but couldn't go through the ankles there of Beatty. But still trying a wraparound attempt as Soliotis dropped it off, but Whale able to gain possession in the final 26 seconds here, just trying to get out of their own end. And up the wall, sent back without touching anyone, but that will not be icing. As Soliotis possibly trying to lead one final charge. From the wing, Lang picking it up. She banks it off of the wall and into the offensive zone, forces Shelley out of the net. But just recoiling in her own end against the half wall. Buzzer will sound, and that is how we will end period number 1. The Connecticut Whale, as they've often done this season, playing a very tight defensive game. They kept it close for a while, but then a couple goals in a span of about 3 minutes, coming courtesy of a beautiful wraparound from Mary Parker, and then a deflection that Sonia Shelley couldn't quite keep up with her pads that just squirted in. We'll see if it sticks with Lexi Bender's goal, or it might get switched to a late deflection from McKenna Brand. But either way, that is where we stand at Warrior Ice Arena after 20 minutes. And if you're the Connecticut Whale, you're down on the scoreboard, but still a lot of positives defensively I think you can take away from that period.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I saw a comment in passing that, the Whale defense is not holding up their end of the bargain. I would disagree with that, but I would say it this way. The Connecticut Whale defenders are usually relatively solid. Now, the Connecticut Whale team defense is sometimes where things fall apart, and I would want to see the team really make a concerted effort to just make sure that they're helping out, especially on far post. We've seen that really bite them, not just tonight, but throughout the season. So although I do give the defenders high marks for the Connecticut Whale, I think the team defense and also being able to transition that team defense into then creating offensive opportunities has to improve.
And it was improved, definitely in good response shifts. And we look at the chat here, and amazing, we are almost up to 2,000 viewers. And a couple of people were also asking how to do the co-stream of the two NWHL games. Well, it's a feature I'm just blanking on exactly what the button was called to co-stream.
What is it?
but
Squad mode, right?
Squad mode. Thank you
That's
very
it.
much.
Yep.
And either the NWHL channel or our channel, NWHL2, should make that available when game number 2 of the weekend starts at around the 7:30 mark. And we hope you fans will continue to join into both games. Keep your information coming here on the chat. And don't forget to subscribe also. Every single subscription, keeping involved, it helps these players out. It helps out in their revenue split. And, of course, most importantly, helps us grow the game of NWHL hockey, which we all love. But we will take our break for now in the first intermission of period number 1 and be back with you for the call of the second 20 minutes. And welcome back in, fans of NWHL hockey, to Warrior Ice Arena. A great crowd on hand, getting ready to see the start of the second period between the Boston Pride and the Connecticut Whale. I'm Sam Fryman, Erica Ayala alongside me, and a ton of love in the chat for our cameraman Kevin tonight.
Yes, that's right. Shout out and stick taps to Kevin Booth, one of the good ones that we got here in Boston for sure.
We appreciate all the work through both the game and through the intermissions. It's been some great images so far. Definitely more to come as the two teams meet at center ice, switching sides that they are going, and the puck is dropped. We are underway for period number 2. Whale getting right back into the offensive zone. Here's Vlasic trying a shot. Only went off of the shins there of Fratkin. And now right back into the middle. Opportune chance for Kleinbach as she has near no one around her, but that pass couldn't quite be gotten right to the stick. And now Dempsey right back in transition. She tries a wrister, only off of a body as she takes a hard tumble. Legs first into the end wall, does Jillian Dempsey.
Sorry to step on you there, Sam. I couldn't hold that one back. That looked painful.
Not a hit I would want to take for sure, but the captain is all good.
So much speed.
And due to it, the Pride gained an offensive zone faceoff, so I think all well and good on the duty of the captain.
It was quite literally butt to the wall for Dempsey on that one.
And Parker trying to win the faceoff. She didn't quite do so. And from the half wall, taking it back out, but getting tripped up there. That's going to be a penalty call on the Pride. As a stick just was able to hook Walteri there. And the guilty party will be Lexi Bender headed to the box. She had one of the 2 Boston Pride goals in the first period. So now first power play opportunity of the night for the Connecticut Whale. But perhaps not a percentage point they really want to look up for Whale fans, as their power play this season only 8.8%, and the Boston Pride PK standing at 87. As Carly Taves trying to go short-handed here, couldn't find Lexi Lang in front of the net. And still holding it in the corner there is Carly Taves, but finally able to get it free is Shannon Doyle. The captain of the Connecticut Whale, she'll certainly be quarterbacking this power play. And 2 minutes for interference, the official call to Lexi Bender, as we're just over a minute through period number 2.
Yep, Connecticut Whale, this is definitely an area they have to improve. And that being on the power play, of course. And
from the right wing, they get an entry, but it off of the glass, and was that off of the referee? I didn't quite see.
Yes, it definitely was.
Vlasic takes a tumble, but she gets it back to the point. Down low from Doyle to Vlasic, trying to move farther in. Good centering pass there, and getting tripped up again. Mary Parker close to getting a tripping call herself there.
That was rather close, I'd say.
But the Whale get it back. Kleinbach, she loses an edge, so the Pride able to take control of the puck, and Mary Parker will get it out, but now she will try to do it all herself. A shorthanded bid, perhaps, for Mary Parker. She swings wide with the backhand, but she's double-teamed there by a couple of Whale jerseys. But still the Pride killing off precious time. Only 40 seconds to go now on the Whale power play. 18 minutes to go in period number 2. Rowe going to send it right back in. Before advancing any farther forward was Sarah Houston.
And that was an odd play right there, as Houston wasn't able to get that pass. But I don't know. The passing is not connecting here for this Connecticut team. And that's going to have to improve, not just on the power play, but in general.
But a good pass there as it's gotten to the corner. Now behind the cage, trying to send it out in front. A very good opportunity for Kendra Broad. Rebound still comes out, and unable to get off that tally was Elena Orlando, one of the longtime veterans of this Whale team. And she had a good one at the circle, but again, just a ton of Pride bodies in front of the net. And that ends the power play for the Whale, 0 for 1 so far tonight. And also for any of the fans who may be asking in the chat, the shots on goal total from the first period, 23-8 in favor of the Boston Pride. So they're already about halfway to that 50-goal plateau Paul Mara always likes to talk about. And again, right out in front, having to dig away at that. A backhanded try by Dempsey didn't go, and it's gotten back out to center ice. Trying to go in now, Anderson. Forced to swing wide by Fratkin, all over her. Now tries right at the side of the net, came out of the lip. And the Pride will be able to clear back to center.
And I see Anya Packer has joined the chat, former member of the Connecticut Whale.
Near some numbers possibly for the Pride as they get it right out in front. It was a brilliant pass from Dempsey to Putinha, but keeping up with it all the way, Sonia Shelley, another impressive save in this game.
Hashtag Shelley power. I dig it.
And we also have to thank, as I saw it a lot from the intermission, Mike Murray gifting a lot of Tier 1 subs to a lot of these NWHL fans, and we certainly appreciate that from Mike and all of you who are getting more invested in the action here on Twitch TV.
Mike Murphy, hey buddy, at DigDeepBSB on Twitter. Good follow.
And Carly Taves, she tries a good backhanded pass there as the Pride still buzzing with offensive control. About 4 minutes gone now in period number 2. Getting it out of the air. Taves sends it back to the point. Along the half wall, trying a bad angle shot was Lauren Kelly. Again, flashing that leather. Sonia Shelley.
I like it. I dig it. Back in the zone. I talked to Sonia Shelley a little bit about that short-term memory that goalies often have to have. I think she's come in looking good, looking sharp for her team. We'll see what happens in this second period.
And that's been the theme with just so many Boston Pride games with the opposition they've played. The goalies have kept them so very often in games against this squad, and still plenty of time to play for the Whale, down 2-0. Have to get out of their own zone first. Mary Parker going to take this draw against Kleinbach, and she's able to win it back to Shannon Doyle. Looking to go up ice, but only as far as Lexi Bender. Pride will try to turn back the other way, but coming in now and almost got interfered with was Gualteri. And Vlasic going to backhand it through to the newest Connecticut Whale player, but couldn't connect that pass. Fluke going to get it off to Parker. Pride right back into the offensive zone. Parker couldn't find the centering look. And now wrapping it around. A good try there from Wolfeiler. Tried to get it out to Fluke.
Really good look.
Line of the former Whale.
That's right. Really good look by Wolfeiler. I like that, but Fluke just not in position to get any mustard on that.
And dumped back in again. Schweinsfire going to pick it up. And she gets it along the half wall. Tipped off the glass by Anderson. Schweinsfire going to try to bring it down. Pestered there by Parker. Combination of her and Fluke. And Pride can't quite get it out of their own zone yet, but now Fluke will only tip it ahead as far as center. Whale going to go right back the other way. And on the half wall, almost ridden into the wall there was Broad. But Whale now get the puck free, but it's going to be a penalty call possibly on that play. And yes, it will be Alyssa Wolfeiler headed to the box. So second power play opportunity of the game for the Connecticut Whale with 14:48 to go in period number 2.
Sonia Shelley not only has a quick wrist, but she's got some quick legs. She was getting over here to the bench trying to get that extra skater on. She was moving.
Hey, when you need to get it as quick as possible, you move as quick as possible, and never mind the weight of those big goalie pads. And Pride going to quickly clear off of the draw, as that was Mallory Soliotis getting the job done. 2 minutes for cross-checking the official call. Assessed to Wolfeiler. Time of the penalty, 5:12. Thank you, Android 17 Los Angeles. Being our own personal chat PA announcer in there. Trying to come right back in was Kleinbach. She's halted at the right point, though. Brickner going to get it cross ice to Doyle. The Whale captain goes across, try to centering feed for Vlasic. She hands it out of the air. And from the corner and up the half wall, Brickner tries to get it farther down low. Kleinbach from the half wall, almost sandwiched there by a combination of Lang and Soliotis, and Soliotis able to dig it out. And here goes Lexi Lang. Tries short-handed, only went off of the body of Doyle. Good job staying right in front of her goaltender, number 6.
Blocks
halfway through
books.
this power play now. And yes, Erica, as you mentioned, another one of those blocks for books, a good campaign by Shannon Doyle. And I heard a couple of fans commenting on that last Connecticut Whale game. It's got to be a painful job getting all those blocks, but for a good cause.
No pain, no gain for Doily there.
33 seconds left on the power play. Whale going to try to set up once again. Gotten farther down low. Fratkin gets to that one. And they say it went up high. Yes, it did. And the Ice Garden giving you a little hashtag blocks for books there in the chat, as well as Mike Murphy.
Android 17, Los Angeles, shout out to you and to Sis. Thank you for being one of our loyal fans here, and I think we still have a fan competition going on, Sam.
We do, so be sure to get involved on that. I'm sure plenty of people will be able to explain the official rules and regulations. It all happens on Twitch, and the winners will be decided with a chance to go to the NWHL All-Star Game.
Oh, yeah.
And so back up top now. Whale in the final 7 seconds of their power play now. Circle down low. Almost picked the pocket there of Broad, but she's able to move it circle to circle. Centering feed almost back to her from Orlando. Out of the box comes Wolfeiler. Whale still with control of the puck, but now it gets taken away by Brand. She will go back the other way as Wolfeiler with her. Dempsey coming as well. Brand winding up for the circle. Rebound try. Wolfeiler was right there with an open net. Just didn't quite hit tape to tape.
And that was a good read by Brand, because I'm not sure who that defender was, but they actually slid over to catch up with Brand and left Wolfeiler on that far post.
An excellent slide because Shelley wasn't quite over enough to that left point, so it was that block that may have prevented a 3-0 lead for the Pride right there. Still trying to go to work in their offensive end of the ice are Boston. Wolfeiler going to pick it up far side circle. Looking to backhand it out of trouble, but all over her was Jordan Brickner, and she's able to get it away to her Whale teammates. Stretching up the wing now. Coming in, a good shot that's able to be sticked aside by Hansen, while Terry trying to take it at the edge there. She rims it around to the opposite end, but no one home. Pride going to try to dig it out again, held in by Doyle. Out of the air and off of the bench, Kleinbach. She couldn't quite get it centered for Evangelist. So Pride a little bit of a struggle there to get out of their own end, but Whale taking it right back. They've gotten a pushback in this game in these last few minutes. And again on the half wall, Evangelist taking it down low. And the Whale players are there. They just need to get to the front of the net, as that one went through traffic for a bunch of bodies, and that is the right idea. I see you looking at it there, Erica.
Yes, absolutely. I was looking at earlier in that sequence, you saw Evangelist. She took that shot from just inside the blue line, and actually she utilized Hansen to try and get that block to be a pass to her teammate that was on the opposite side.
And Bender tried to drop it off, taken back just as quickly from the Whale. Doyle forced to recoil in her own end, but now a big stretch pass that hits right in stride Houston. And she goes in beyond her. Going to be no icing there as the Whale, they're able to make a change and get fresh legs out. 10:47 to go in period number 2 now. Still a 2-0 Pride lead, and they go right back in. Whitney Wren looking for a centering pass. Tried to backhand it out of trouble. Sullivan wasn't quite ready for it, and it's able to be taken away by Hannah Beatty. He tries to get it up to Payne, but Pride take back control. They get it back to Wren. She has some space from the point. Tried a deflection. Went off of the body of both Marchin and Lang as they were waiting for it in front of the cage. Back to the point again, Mastel. She sends it through traffic. Again, couldn't get a deflection. Whale able to take it out, and they get it along the wing. Payne softly in, but unable to quite push that puck out was Hansen, so she's forced to cover up as we're just about the halfway point of period number 2.
It looks like we're having some regional warfare here in the comments. Which region are you repping? The North, the South, the Midwest, West Coast?
Well, I always got to give some love for the Northeast, and also, as I said last game, anyone else out there from either Pennsylvania or the 215 Philadelphia, feel free to shout out. So exactly at the halfway point, a good centering pass out in front for Dempsey. She couldn't quite get the wrister on it. That's right off of the net lift as she battles with Hall. Pride able to get it free. Putina now looking to get it back at the point. Does so. Here's Fratkin with the one-timer. Only went off of the shins, and that could spring the Whale, but no. Pride hold it in the other way. Dempsey right through the slot. Backhand patted aside by Shelley. Boston offense all over the Whale defense right now is again held in at the half wall. Good aggressive play by Fratkin. Right down in front, just off of the glove side. Almost tipped high. Shelley didn't see it, but now she covers. Able to just get that glove in the air, and a lot like a save she made in the first period, just kind of bounced it a little bit so it couldn't get past her. As we've got now our first media timeout of the period. back in here at Warrior Ice Arena, Pride with control. Soliotis tried to fire a shot through, didn't quite get anything going. We've got 9:20 to go in period number 2. Pride trying to extend a 2-0 lead. Connecticut trying to get back in this game, cut this lead in half. They have to work out of their own end right now as Soliotis again picks it up in the corner, and Vlasic rims it around the half wall. But not quite out. Forced to be taken there, and Orlando finishes the job. And a lot like we saw in this first period so far, even though a lot more of the offensive game has been going the Pride's way, the Whale defense keeping this game close, keeping it even, haven't allowed a goal yet so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's why I continue to call out the Connecticut Whale defense. But now what can they do to translate some of that into offense?
Well, trying to get control of the puck now, as they got it from the circle and are able to tip it back the other end, racing to try to possibly cancel out an icing call, and unable to do so was Gualteri. She thought she was close in on a race with Lauren Kelly, but it will become a Boston Pride offensive zone faceoff.
And so we thank everyone for watching. We wish you could be here with us too at Warrior Ice Arena, but we appreciate you watching from wherever you are. So Indiana, New York, someone's watching from the Devils game, Sam, and appreciates your radio style broadcast.
I always appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thank you also to the NWHL now streaming with us, getting that squad mode going as Whitecaps Butte's going to get underway pretty soon.
That's right. Ooh,
back to the action here at Warrior Ice Arena. Wolfeiler making a good play there, digging through about 3 different Whale defense ladies. Good individual effort there.
She feeling it.
We've got 7:46 to go in period number 2 now. Mary Parker trying to get in over the left point. He was interfered with there a bit by Marchin. She tries to get it out in front to Emily Fluke. And it's captured there by the Whale. They will go back the other way, just dumping it in at the end of her shift was Casey Anderson. And Pride recoiling. A big stretch pass intended for Brand, but all over her she had Jordan Brickner. And that one will go up in the air and out. And as I see Mallory Soliotis go out there on the ice, if anyone was keeping up with social media, you know, some rivalries, they always extend beyond college. And the Harvard-Yale hockey game, Harvard was able to pick up the win in that one. So Mallory Soliotis, the Yale graduate, forced to wear a Yale jersey at ice, and also thought she was going to get a little bit of revenge today in the game on the football field, but Harvard again winning that one in double overtime, so may have quite a bit of extra chirping from her teammates after this one's over, as well as some chirping for the 3 Yale graduates on the Connecticut Whale. But Boston with offensive control here, trying to back that one down with a backhand was Jillian Dempsey. But picking it up now is Soliotis, mentioned. Goes cross ice, Putinha now getting that one on her stick, looking to send it back to the point, but gotten away by Brickner. Hasn't quite cleared it out of her own end yet, but she will get it out of trouble to Erin Hall. Again, one of those Yale University graduates on ice is Hall. And now Kendra Broad in over the blue line.
The Connecticut Whale have always recruited from the Yale program, but also I'm sure that having ties through their general manager now, Bray Ketchum, and retired Riveter, an OG Riv at that, doesn't hurt.
Oh, and a good try out in front, as losing a stick there trying to fend on that play was Emma Vlasic. Allows the Whale to get right back in. And Vlasic just, you know, the players get to it right as we talk about the story. Another Yale graduate.
Indeed.
And Kleinbach trying to swing out wide. Whale now can finally set up. She'll drop it off for Doyle. A high pass. Gotten down low to Vlasic. She tries a good backhander right out in front, and Kleinbach was almost to it in the blue paint. Again, great passing ideals for the Whale, just not connecting.
It's that finish that we talked to Colton about earlier, and it's not quite there yet for Connecticut, but they have to keep doing more of the same, and eventually it'll get there.
And Shelley's going to hold that one as we've got 5:32 left to go now in period number 2. I'm just giving you an update on the shot total also. It's now 31-11 in favor of the Boston Pride. Pride trying to take control off of the draw. Whale 2 at first. Anderson couldn't quite collect it from the half wall. Gotten by the other number 9. That's Tori Sullivan. Now Bender. She couldn't send one through from just beyond the point, but she'll get it to her defensive partner, Lauren Kelly. Wrapped around the board. Shelley out of the net to play it, and she'll get it away to Taylor Marchant. Anderson now for the Whale at the half wall. Again held in by Kelly down low. Not allowing the Whale to get out on the wings there, forcing them to make big passes that could get intercepted. Now Fluke, the former Whale, almost sent it down low. Hannah Beatty couldn't quite pick that one. A couple players getting tripped up and no call there on Beatty. A bit surprising. But the Whale will nonetheless head back the other way. And Gualteri unable to keep up with that one, as that will be an icing call. And I think going back in transition, a bit of the Whale players thought that was going to get called and just didn't quite break out maybe as fast as they were supposed to in that rush. They could have had both a combination of Parker and Bender beat.
Well, you know, what I was picking up in that sequence is two things. One is that Connecticut needs to be a little bit more aggressive and physical. I think they're kind of allowing the Pride to dictate the pace of this game a little bit too much. They have to stay strong on the puck and really win these battles.
And also a very good point here in the chat from Mike Murphy is that they're never out of games. 5 of their 6 losses, they've been by 2 or fewer goals. So like we mentioned at the pregame, this Whale team can very much stay in games, but just those little things, those passes connecting, that one lucky break, getting past a goaltender that has kept them out of getting that elusive first win so far. But still only down by 2 here with 4 minutes to go in period number 2. Boston, they have control of the puck right now as Rowe tries to send it through right into the pads, as standing up was Shelley to make that one, as screening her right out in front again was Emily Fluke, providing the traffic.
So we see that Shelley is standing tall, but now we need this Connecticut team to, I don't know, get a little swag, get a little swagger out here on the ice. Get some players to really start feeling it and take control of this game.
And another quick shot as a rebound comes out. Turnaround try. Big stretch save by Sonia Shelley, as Dempsey thought she was going to have one there. Another juicy rebound that came right to her. Putina again tries out in front, again looking for Dempsey. And that passing combination has been oh so good throughout this game. Just hasn't connected on the goal sheet quite yet. But the Whale, they now have control in their offensive end of the ice, trying from a bad angle. A good shot fired there by Kendra Broad. And they get it right back. Hall going to take it in the corner. Again, Broad worked over by Fracken behind the cage. Just Hall and Broad playing some catch with each other. Fracken trying to clear it out. Hall picks it up with the half wall as we've got 3:09 to go in the period. Couldn't center it out in front there for Broad. She was waiting for it. Only cleared as far as center ice now by the Pride. But now picking it up, Kaylee Fratkin. She's in over the right point as Soliotis going to the front of the net, gets it to her forehead, backhand save, Shelley again. As the defense lady's getting in on the offensive rush.
Everyone's hungry for the Pride, that's for sure.
And a couple of good stick moves again by Soliotis. She tries, and Shelley is ready for it. Shift of the game, Mallory Soliotis. And Evangelist tries to get that in one past Brand. Lang wasn't quite ready for the puck to be received, but Tori Sullivan going to take it in. She's a lone Pride player. Switches to the middle. Watched by Orlando and now forced wide. Has some reinforcements off the bench. Lauren Kelly, glove side, just tipped out of the air. Rebound again, a pad save. One more can Sonia Shelley do?
I think I said this last week. Score a goal.
A goalie goal would be something really fun to see, as a couple players take a hard tumble there on the wall. That was Doyle and Sullivan, as we're into the final 2 minutes now of period number 2, and these last couple of minutes have just been the Sonia Shelley show as she deflects one aside once again. Whale just desperate to get out of their own end of the ice at this point. In the near side corner, Kleinbach going after it. Had Fluke behind her. And she will try to work it out. Kleinbach from just over the blue line will try to go ahead. Has only Houston to her right, worked over there by Lauren Kelly. Couldn't quite take the puck away from her as a couple more bodies go tumbling right to the front. Glove save! Victoria Hansen, as a pass was intended right out in front for Kleinbach. But I think Victoria Hansen still working that red glove think that red might be her special color on that save, as she says, Sonia Shelley, anything you can do, I can do better.
Well, there you go, and you see that her teammates give her some love, because that shot by Kleinbach looked like it had a lot of promise, Sam.
The Whale really trying to get back in this game and cut it in half. But look out, right back the other end. Good turnaround, try from Fluke to Wolfeiler. She scores! What a pass from Alyssa Wolfeiler to Emily Fluke. And it's former Whale on Whale crime.
And they
connect and make it 3-0 Boston Pride with just a minute 16 to go in period number 2.
She used her body to shield, makes a quarter turn, and passes that off and gets the Boston Pride on the the scoreboard again with their 3rd goal of the evening.
And I'll just leave that one at the simple sentence I like to use for plays like that. That was beautiful.
Pretty good.
And Mary Parker, I'm sorry, officially credit for that. But still, Emily Fluke with just the amazing pass on that one. And a lot of fans agreeing with me in the chat, former Whale on Whale crime. And now Mary Parker, yes, officially on Hattie watch.
Ooh.
As we're into the final 30 seconds of period number 2 now. Trying to play it farther in is McKenna Brand. And Mastel almost got a deflection there off the sticks of a couple of Whale players. Now Putina, she turns around from behind the net, able to get her own rebound, batted out of the air. Now Dempsey right in front of the blue paint. She couldn't finish either. But boy, Jillian Dempsey, she is hungry for one tonight.
Marchand got in there at that last second to disrupt Jillian Dempsey, just enough to save Sonia Shelley from having to make another save.
And the buzzer goes off. That is how we will end period number 2. Boston again getting one late against this Connecticut Whale team after putting in another very solid performance, and certainly glove taps all around for Sonia Shelley. Just doing so much and then some in this game as we look at the official shot total, 42-13 the total. And in that second period specifically, Boston out shooting Connecticut 19-5. So Sonia Shelley now 40 saves on 43 shots, and like you said, scoring a goal I think is pretty much the only other thing she can do in this game right now.
I mean, you know, let's do a little D2 Mighty Ducks action. You know, let her knuckle puck one and see what Hansen's got.
Hey, how about it? It tied the game up in D2. Why not?
But all jokes aside, this, of course, is not, what was that, Junior World Championships or whatever?
The Junior Goodwill Games.
Goodwill. There you go,
against the
Sam.
mighty Iceland.
Eastland. Anyway, all of that Disney magic aside, I think that the Connecticut team, they really, I want to see them get a little more aggressive, and not to the point where, you know, they're just you know, chipping at people for the sake of it. They need to establish themselves in this game a little bit more than they have so far, Sam.
And a lot of bodies were being kind of flown around there. They were getting a lot more aggressive on the forward check, really tight in. Bit of that Colton Orr-inspired game for sure, if you know his physicality from the NHL days. But down 3-0 after 3, Mary Parker getting her second goal of the evening. And what's great about this is the other game in the NWHL right now getting underway.
Shout out to Alexis Peterson and Kelly Schultz, who will have that call.
Yes, Buffalo versus Minnesota. And again, with squad mode here on Twitch TV, you can get both of them. And for both games, just an incredible amount of fans watching so far. We're about at 2,300 for our game here in Boston, and already around the 1,600 mark for Utes Whitecaps.
Indeed. And excuse me, I believe they're in Buffalo, so that would not
Correct.
be Kelly and Alexis. My mistake there. I'm just so excited to hear Kelly and Alexis again, but we'll have to wait, as well as we're waiting to hear from Matt Falkenberry and Anya Packer. But we're going to give you the third period of action. Sam, what are you excited to see as we head into the third period?
I think just more of this back and forth and more of this goaltending show. I always love to see flashy saves from the goaltenders, but it's definitely going to be a good one in the final 20 minutes of the first two periods where any indication. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a battle, even though the scoreboard might not quite reflect that. 3-0 Boston Pride after 40 minutes, and we will be back for the call of the final period. And welcome back in, NWHL fans, to Warrior Ice Arena. Capacity crowd on hand as we get set for the start of the third period between the Boston Pride and the Connecticut Whale. We thank all of you tuning in and commenting on Twitch TV, as it's a 3-0 Boston Pride lead going into these final 20 minutes. I'm Sam Fryman, Erica Ayala alongside me. And once again, Erica, was the Connecticut defense and Sonia Shelley standing strong for a majority of the period. Boston, they get another one late, courtesy of Mary Parker off of some brilliant passing. And that is the way we start period number 3. Just a couple of your keys for the Whale to get back into this one.
I want to see them get aggressive. I want to see them, toss their weight around and be able to stay on the puck. Kind of like Shannon Doyle just did right there.
Just did that, but Pride, they get into the offensive end. Trying from a bad angle, did McKenna Brand, seen all the way with a stick by Shelley, and she covers.
In addition to that, the passing from the Connecticut Whale has been less than crisp, I think is fair to say.
Little sloppy.
That's something that they're going to need to clean up. Things to stay the same is, just keep patting Sonia Shelley on the shoulder, because she's really standing tall for this team.
Whale trying to get control off the draw. They can't clear it out, though. Goes down to Fluke in the far side corner. Schwenzfire trying to take it back out along the wall. Held in by Wolfeiler. Has 2 assists so far in this game. Lexi Bender, she goes down low trying to get into the rush from the blue line. Tipped off of the glass. Gotten down first by Shannon Doyle. She can't quite clear it out. Mary Parker, good backhanded pass out of trouble to Fluke. Goes off of the body there late. Rebound comes out. And at the high slot, Whale able to get it, and they take it out. While Terry with Anderson. Anderson able to backhand it free. And in the corner, Gualteri trying to pick it up. The Rome, New York native has her pocket picked just briefly there by Lexi Bender, and she will backhand it out of trouble. Boston can go back the other way. And Mary Parker in. She drops it off. Wolfeiler right back to her as Fluke at the front of the net. Tried with a backhand rebound, came out. Well-designed play, but just unable to finish for the Pride right there. And now Brickner. She turns a corner around Mastel, tries the backhand. Hansen sees it and makes the save. But an excellent effort there by Jordan Brickner. That aggressive nature you were talking about came in all by herself, almost turned around the defense to get the Whale on the scoreboard.
Brickner, of course, one of the captains here on this team, and even though she's a defender, she can really be a strong part of this offense for the Connecticut Whale, as has been proven in 4 seasons and going on into this 5th season.
One of the original NWHLers with this Connecticut Whale team. And going back the other way, tip to Carly Taves as Lexi Lang with her to her left. Gets it over to Lexi, couldn't get the forehand on a rebound, came out and right at the right post. Lang couldn't finish either. We've got 2 minutes gone now in period number 3. Zalfa tie up right in front of the penalty box. Skirts back down easily to the Boston side. Kaylee Fratkin picking that up, and she will go back the other way along the half wall, but that pass picked off. And that's also something I think the Whale defense has done a better job of, though just need to do more consistency, is picking off passes and having them turn into offensive setups, as it was almost done so right there, but the Pride, they're able to dig it out now.
And that's what the Boston Pride do so well, which is all the more reason why any opponent of the Pride really needs to make sure they have crisp passing and that they're keeping their head up and on a swivel.
And just giving you the shots on goal total through those first 2 periods, it was 43-13 in favor of Boston, so just about at that 50-goal plateau they always like to get to offensively. So even more credit to Sonia Shelley stopping all of those. And going back the other way, big stretch pass from Dempsey that was intended for Brand. She would have been caught ahead of the defense with Shannon Doyle only chasing her, but it goes in on Shelley's net instead, and she stops it with just over 3 minutes gone in this third period.
Sonia Shelley and Shannon Doyle having a nice little conversation here. I imagine it goes something like this. Doyle, hey kid, you're doing a good job. Shelley saying, why thank you.
Always high praise from the captain. That's another quick shot. Trying the turnaround there. Mary Parker might have thought about it. Instead, backhanded it out of trouble. That's how she scored her first goal, was a wraparound just like that. Emily Fluke now getting to it. Gets a hard shove into the boards there from the Connecticut captain. And there's going to be some penalty calls here. A hook And Fluke, she lost her stick, but she's going to be the guilty party getting sent. So third Whale power play of the contest. They have yet to score on this one. And Fluke, I think, trying to argue that exact point, kind of saying, I'm the one who lost the stick. How is it a hook on me?
Well, we definitely saw that Fluke, once she realized that the stick was tangled, she kind of let go of it. I don't know if that was to play into her innocence, but, which is definitely a possibility. But either way, the Connecticut Whale now with the advantage. We'll see if they can take advantage.
And that's another thing I will also mention that the Connecticut Whale are doing well that has gotten the last few teams in trouble against the Boston Pride. They've avoided the big penalty minutes. They've been able to get those power play opportunities, but just haven't been able to score on one yet, as we've got 16-10 to go in period number 3. Whale trying to work on their power play, but again, just quick clearing attempts from this Boston Pride team, trying to go to work short-handed. Now Shannon Doyle, she'll wait for the reinforcements and now start up. Right wing, it is Sarah Houston. Gets in over the right point from the half wall as Mastel all over her, tries to take the puck away, stapled on the half wall, but now back. Doyle down low to the corner. Houston trying to get free from Mastel, but Brianna will get to that puck first. Now double teamed by a couple of Whale players in the corner as they try to get it free from the corner. Emma Vlasic going to take that one away, couldn't backhand it to one of her teammates. Doyle out, thought about the slap shot. Now she'll take one deflected off of the shins of Jillian Dempsey and high into the air. 44 seconds to go on this power play, and Dempsey will now take it back out. Going one-on-one with Doyle. Cuts to the middle, fires, and scores! She had been waiting for one all night, and how about a shorty for Jillian Dempsey? With 37 seconds left on the Whale power play, chalk it up for number 14. Her 5th goal of the season, 15th point, and it is 4-0 Boston Pride.
That was Dempsey dirty. My goodness, what a goal.
Saw she was going to be challenged by the Whale captain, and she said, I will gladly accept. I'll go short side, thank you very much.
Whee.
So still 22 seconds left. It's going to be an unassisted goal for Jillian Dempsey. Whale still with the woman advantage with Fluke in the box. They will try to answer quickly. From right off of the bench, coming right in, Frenchfire tried to get it to the side of the net. Waiting right there was Casey Anderson. And Whale in the final 4 seconds now of their power play. Back to the point. Marchin trying a shot that skipped wide. And Fluke is out of the box. We're back to even strength. So a short-handed goal for the Boston Pride, their first one of the season, and I believe one of the first ones in the entirety of the NWHL this season, as that one goes in offsides for Wolfeiler.
Dempsey's solid. She's a solid player. I like what she offers, not just to this Pride team. She's been with them all 5 seasons, as Mike Murphy alluded to in one of his trivia questions in the chat. Dempsey's just a good, solid, hard-working hockey player, and it's beautiful to watch her game.
And I will actually correct myself on that stat. That is the 3rd shorthanded goal in the NWHL this year. The other 2 belonging to Nicole Schammel and Megan Lawrence of the Minnesota Whitecaps. Is coming right back in are the Pride. Tried to cut to the middle was Wolfeiler. Couldn't get a shot off. We'll call it, I guess, the former Whale line tonight. Her, Fluke, and Mary Parker. Mary Parker not a part of that trio, but still. Tried to get into the middle for Wolfeiler. She took a tumble, did Parker. And now Hall will go back the other way for Gualteri. They will just dump it in, and a full shift made for the Connecticut Whale. Trying to get back into this game with 13:37 to go in regulation.
That last goal by Dempsey going to really have to overcome not just that 3 or 4 goal deficit now, but that was such a beautiful goal, momentum changing type goal early here in the 3rd period as we stop the clock at 13:21. I have to mention it. I know some folks are not going to like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Hansen right now in position to potentially get the first shutout of the NWHL season.
Fans in the Twitch chat, you got on me earlier in this season for cursing it, so now you can get on Erica if that does not come to fruition.
I said what I said. Facts are facts.
Mike Murphy immediately got on you. What are you doing?
Hey, buddy.
But still, a long way away from the conclusion of this game. 13-17 to go in period number 3. A 4-0 lead now for the Boston Pride, courtesy of Jillian Dempsey, short-handed. As a Connecticut Whale will try to go to work here, but well beyond Houston off of the draw. Tried to hit Brand in stride, did Christina Putinha, but that one will go down for an icing. So another offensive zone draw for the Whale. And I'm actually seeing, looks like is that some Russian in the chat?
It looks like it might be. Oh, I'm getting it. Anti-Bruins. Ooh. I might just get it for saying that handle out loud in Boston.
Yeah. And I definitely appreciate the multiple languages in the chat. And again, fans, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you think might get the next goal in this one, or as we're in the third period, who your 3 stars might be for this contest. A lot of deserving candidates, as I always like to say, for both teams. And I think mine for the Whale, number 1, definitely has to be Sonia Shelley so far, as well as maybe just an honorary star for this Connecticut defense. But now look out. Here's the Pride back in. McKenna Brand, short side! She scores! And perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned that Connecticut defense at that particular point, as McKenna is going to stay on brand as the NWHL goals leader. Got a wonderful feed from Kaylee Fratkin, and she will not miss. 12:34 to go in period number 3. 5-0 Boston.
Well, if that stat stands, or I should say if that goal call stands from earlier, maybe McKenna Brand didn't get her 10th goal earlier in this game, but she has it now, Sam.
She does.
Had a
and
nice...
Lexi Bender, who got that goal, another 2-on-1 for Boston. To Lang, she scores! Right off of the draw! The bleeding will not stop!
Oh, Lexi Lang!
And another girl who had been searching for one all night, Lexi Lang, gets it off of a beauty! Lexi to Lexi, how about that?
I mean, I'm not going to say I have favorites, but I love watching Lexi Lang play hockey. My goodness.
And before you could even talk about it, the Boston Pride have yet another goal on the board, make it 6-0.
So now, Sam, last time we were together, I mentioned that, you know, the Boston Pride, they got the win, but it didn't look like the Boston Pride. This looks like the Boston Pride in this third period, Sam. Am I right?
Absolutely dominant, getting goals from everyone, contributions in every way. They really have scored in every way, except for the power play. They haven't been on one yet tonight, as that was a good shot fired in by Brickner, just trying to get some semblance of hope back to the Connecticut Whale right now.
And this is when the Connecticut Whale, they really have to find something. They got to find the mojo, the magic. Ooh, nice little look there by Vlasic. She couldn't find Kleinbach, though.
Too many yellow jerseys out in front of the net. Mary Parker going back the other way with Jenna Rowe. She tries the backhand. Mary Parker, one of the girls with 2 goals in this game.
You know, but going back to Connecticut, sometimes when you're getting popped in the mouth, so to speak, you got to pop right back. And that's what I'd like to see from this Connecticut Whale team. And that's exactly what I think. I think, honestly, those last 2 goals, if they didn't wake them up, hopefully they're awake now, because, my goodness, the Connecticut Whale are going to have to find something here to make this game look a little bit more like it did in the first and even parts of the second period.
Well, I'm looking closely right now, and just with their defensive play right now, getting a lot closer, playing a lot in closer one-on-one with these Boston Pride players. And I should go back to that last goal, assist credit given to Carly Taves, and I have to say, she's probably the most quiet, consistent assist feeder on this Boston Pride team. You don't always hear her name, but then you look at the stat sheet, she's top 4, top 5 in the league. She loves to feed those pucks to the forwards.
Gotta love a teammate like that, I'm sure.
And almost feeding one right there was Fluke to Wolfeiler. She's been another one of those great feeders tonight, has Emily Fluke. As Gualteri going to flip that one high into the air and down low. Was looking for Casey Anderson to maybe rush right to the front of the net. Has a couple teammates there to help her out as Casey gets out of the scrum. Only a shot off of the body of Rowe. And now look out back here the other way. McKenna Brand going to try for another glove save again. As I should mention, it's a goaltending change in net. Brooke Walejko, I'm sorry I missed that earlier. She is now in the cage and probably does her best Sonia Shelley impression right there, flashing a little leather.
Indeed, indeed. If it weren't for the number, I would have missed it myself. But Sonia Shelley, what a game she had. You know, the Pride put up 6 on her, but that's something that they've done before. But Sonia Shelley definitely had another great game for the Connecticut Whale.
So Walejko into this game, the second Whale goaltender out of St. Lawrence University, like her teammate. As right at the side of the net, again trying a rebound there was Brand, came in, was looking for the pass from Dempsey, but now Whale will get it back, and they flip it high into the air. And now Fratkin. Gonna look to go back the other way, try to spring Taves, but that pass cut off, and going right back in is Hall. She tries one from the high slot. Again, too many bodies around her. And that's, I think, what Connecticut has been trying a lot more, the Boston Pride have done to them, getting bodies in front of not just scoring lanes, but passing lanes, so that they can go back real quick in transition.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see, again, Connecticut woke up a little. They were in a bit of a lull, and Boston sure did take advantage. But now we'll see they have another goaltender behind them, a new goaltender. And sometimes you'll hear players talk about that, knowing that even changes how they approach the game because they want to make good for their goaltender making their debut.
And Lauren Kelly just held in there as we've got 8:36 to go in period number 3. Commandingly as one comes out to Sullivan. Tried to lift that wrister, but held by Walejko. As we will go now to our media timeout for period number 3. And back here at Warrior Ice Arena, 8:28 to go now in period number 3, a commanding 6-0 lead for the Boston Pride. As one floats in softly on Victoria Hansen, she's able to cover that up.
Very interesting. I think I missed the origin of the relief pitching conversation that's in the thread right now, Sam, but as a diehard baseball fan, I sure would like to know. But as far as bringing in a new goalie, getting Sonia Shelley out, she has a high workload for this Connecticut Whale team, and I really don't think that what I think I was seeing is that Shelley was beginning to be exposed in some areas, and I actually think the goalie change was good.
And trying to pick up another 2-on-1 on the Pride here, trying to center it, Brand for Dempsey. You know how deadly that combination is. And that's, I think, the big area that's been exposed, regardless of who's been in goal. It's happened to Shelley, and it's happened to Walejko a couple of times, too. Just getting those odd woman rushes. Nothing the goaltender can do about that.
That's right.
It's just about breakdowns on the defense. But coming right back in are the Whale. As a shot turned just aside by Broad. She tries to go pick it up at the half wall, and she does so. From the high slot, fires, gloved out of the air, and held by Victoria Hansen.
Broad gets that shot on the rush there and then is able to find the puck again and get another shot on. More of that needed from the Connecticut Whale. Not just the being aggressive and charging at the goalie, but then going to find the puck, getting opportunities. Don't just settle for one and done.
And Morissette couldn't quite win that face-off to one of her Connecticut teammates, but it's sent to the front of the net now. Just missing on connecting with a shot there was Madeline Evangelos. And Beatty going to go back in, had Broad with her. Lost control of the puck at the half wall. Now she gets it back. Tried to make a move there around Fratkin. The Pride will work in transition just off of the tape to Tori Sullivan. And Whale back in. Got 7:05 to go in period number 3. And no Solander not in net. That is Victoria Hansen. She's been in net this entire game. And she has done an admirable job, even though she hasn't quite faced the shot load that the combination of Sonia Shelley and Brooke Waleshko have thus far. Whale still with control in the offensive end of the ice. Down low for Houston. Tried to backhand it, but no one was there in the blue paint waiting for it. A couple fresh legs off of the bench for Connecticut is dumping it in at the end of her shift, Carly Taves. So it'll be now third line out for the Boston Pride. As Kleinbach trying to work along the right wing was run into by Mary Parker and flipped high into the air and back down into the offensive zone by Aaron Hall. Lexi Bender going forward, but losing an edge on that one was Emily Fluke, or she could have been sprung on the right wing. And now Whale going to take it back the other way. And Mary Parker trying to work around Schweinsfire here. And from the left wing, dumped in but no icing. And Shannon Doyle going to try to work it out. Big stretch pass there for Gualteri, again cut off. Alyssa Wolfeiler, one of those former Whale players, going to come in. Going right through the middle now, forced to the circle. All over her with Shannon Doyle now. The two of them getting a little physical as the puck gets free. And there's some of that Whale physicality you were talking about, Erica, and who better to get it started than the captain?
That's right. Shannon Doyle will get it done, that's for dang sure. And we see in the comments people asking about shots. 55-18 is what we see over at nwhl.zone. That's where you can find the live stat and game summary for this game.
And that's going to make Paul Mara happy, getting over 50 a game.
Yes. We were told that early in the season by way of Tori Sullivan.
And from the half wall now. Going to try to get down low. Brand now to it in the corner on her off wing. Will carry that puck with her backhand. Swings all the way wide to the other end. Now in the corner. Left it there for Patinia, but getting to that first for Connecticut, Jane Morissette. And Morissette again onto it. She backhands it out of trouble to her teammate. Beatty going to take it up ice. Rowe. Back the other way. Again cut off by Boston. Just not allowing this Connecticut team to get past neutral ice, as they just seem to do to everyone. 4.5 to go in period number 3 now.
Someone asked, has Emily Fluke scored yet? No, she has not. And I'll be honest with you, I run into her mother every once in a while.
As that one comes down, it was juggled a bit out of the air, but able to cover it with the glove is Waleshko.
Cynthia Fluke, that being, and she's ready. She's ready for a Fluke goal, as is the rest of the Fluke family that has been coming here to games at Warrior Ice Arena since Emily Fluke entered the league 2 seasons ago. At that time was with the Connecticut Whale.
Well, she does have at least 1 assist so far in this game, and she's still been hot on the goal-scoring list. Coming into this game has 4 in 7 games since coming to the Boston Pride, and just always plays that really good defensive game. I love the hard work put in by her every game. As Pride can't touch up on that puck, Lexi Lang does, but that's going to come all the way back to neutral ice, as that was offside. And actually, there was a stick loss there by Brickner.
Yeah, Sullivan tripped in offsides. She fell over, presumably Brickner's stick and the blue line all at the same time.
And we've got 3:59 to go at the end of this game, till the end of this game. And getting tossed out of the face-off circle will be Vlasic. Houston replaces her. And Mary Parker wins the face-off back. To the half wall. And now to the middle. Wolfeiler thought she was going to step onto it. Well, now Parker will backhand it out of trouble. Was looking into the middle for either Wolfeiler or Fluke. Emma Vlasic going to go back the other way. Haven't had a chance to mention about Emma Vlasic, the latest member of what I like to call the Pickle Posse, entering the professional ranks of hockey.
Ooh. Looks like Walteri got caught.
And it will come back out to the face-off dot right in front of the Boston bench.
See folks asking for the schedule. Yes, you can find the NWHL schedule on nwhl.zone, but we'll give you a little bit of a teaser of what you can expect. Tomorrow, the Minnesota Whitecaps and the Buffalo Beauts go at it again. Next week, Sam, you'll have the Riveters again here on Saturday, and then the Rivs make their way to Connecticut in a week's time.
It will be the fourth matchup, and actually the 30th, the final home game for quite a while for the Boston Pride is after that contest on November 30th. Actually won't be back at Warrior Ice Arena until, I believe, January 20th. So a long December for them on the road.
And this Connecticut Whale team will have 2 games next weekend. They host yet again the Buffalo Beauts on the 30th, and then the Metropolitan Riveters come down from Boston.
Do you ever think those players just get tired of seeing the same team over and over again, or does it almost feel like a playoff series at that point? You're just seeing the same opponent.
If you ask the Connecticut Whale, they were pretty ready to see another team, and as I mentioned earlier, get their crack at the Boston Pride. Still haven't scored on Boston yet.
We've got 2:24 to go now in regulation, just looking for that one goal against the Boston Pride are the Whale, as that one goes just briefly out into the bench. And I think maybe you'll give unofficial credit to Lovisa Salander for her first save of the game as she tipped that one with her glove.
Lovisa Salander.
And that face off to the blocker side of Victoria Hansen. Pride able to win. Just try to get it back out through ice. Now Lexi Lang along the left wing, trying to hit Taves in the middle, just beyond her, but Lang gets the rebound, and she scores! Again, just juicy pucks right in front of the blue paint, and if you want anyone to step onto them, you want number 16 for the Boston Pride, Lexi Lang. She gets that one with just 2:06 to go in period number 3. The extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Boston Pride.
We've seen a 7 spot a few times in the NWHL so far. You saw that Beatty did a good job of being that defender as the rush was coming in for the Boston Pride. She was able to slow that puck. However, it was Lexi Lang that was right there as the puck stopped right in front of the net.
And make it her second of the night, goal number 6 on the season for Lexi Lang. As I believe that's going to give her either 12 or, unless she has an assist, maybe even 13 points, getting close to the team lead even.
Ooh.
And when you consider how good Dempsey and Brand have been, you got to give credit to Lexi Lang also, as we have a Connecticut Whale penalty assessed right here. So with not too much time left in the game, the first power play for the Boston Pride presented by American Giant, tough like the NWHL. And they will get a crack at it and tip down to the very end of this game, barring a goal, as that one tipped right in front by Dempsey, but it went high.
That's tough on Connecticut to take a penalty, the first penalty of the game in the last 2 minutes of the game.
It's just a bit of a microcosm of how the game has gone for them so far. They have a lot of shifts where they seem like they're in it. They're playing tough defensively, have gotten good saves from their goaltenders, but then just get whacked down and down again and down again. As here come the Boston Pride. Soliotis from the circle, tried a little drag there around Brickner as a rebound came out again. It's free just beyond the blue paint and cleared out.
Cool, calm, and collected was Brickner, able to swipe that puck away, and eventually the Connecticut Whale get the puck clear of the zone.
And some people asking how many players are on hat trick watch. I believe we have officially 3 now. If that first goal for McKenna Brand gets shifted, that means she has 2. Lexi Lang now with 2. Mary Parker with 2. It's probably better to look at the stat sheet and say who doesn't have points tonight for the Boston Pride.
That seems to be most games for this team. Save for that first game on the road with the Riveters, it's been pretty much dominant performances week after week for the Boston Pride.
And 50 seconds to go now. Pride still on the power play, working in the corner with it. Parker and Fluke doing a good job of holding it down there. Shannon Doyle. And now it's worked out to the left point, trying for another late one. Lauren Kelly sends one through a bunch of traffic. Couldn't get a deflection from Fluke nor Parker. Lexi Bender from the half wall in the final 30 seconds of regulation here. Bender up top to Kelly. Gonna try to move farther in from the half wall. Can't quite get a free lane. Now Kelly gets it back. Tries a slap shot off of a body. Rebound comes to the circle. Wolfeiler gonna get it. Final 12 seconds now, trying for possibly one more as that one comes right back out. Pad save, three, and they score! And if Mary Parker was the last one to touch it, and she was, let's have it rain some headgear in Warrior Ice Arena.
Toss him
with
down.
Just 8.4 seconds left in the game. Hat trick, Mary Parker.
Let's see that Hattie Love in the chat, folks. 8.4 seconds on the clock. Mary Parker, hat trick. And Victoria Hansen looks like she might get this shutout.
Well, she's got one final shot in, fired on her, but that will do it for 60 minutes. A late hat trick for Mary Parker, and officially the first shutout in the NWHL this season belongs to Victoria Hansen. A perfect 1,000 on the save percentage in net.
And you love it, the entire squad going over and giving her paw pounds, if you will, for this Boston Pride team. They remain undefeated. They get a hat trick and a shutout for the evening.
And both teams to the handshake line. And some great stuff all around from both of these squads, and a couple extra hugs there for Victoria Hansen getting that first career shutout. I think it was maybe that red glove. I think that was a source of some special juju for her there.
Well, she knew good enough to not bring out the probably less broken in glove for some NWHL action this evening.
And hey, if it got her a shutout, maybe you might just keep it.
Maybe you stick with it.
But inside, outside, and inside again to salute the fans. A capacity crowd, and they see the 9th consecutive win for the Boston Pride this season. And fans, we certainly hope you'll weigh in on your 3 stars, but I think certainly have to give one to Victoria Hansen, certainly have to give one for Mary Parker, and then a lot of other worthy candidates, especially on this Boston Pride team. Sonia Shelley, definitely have to give her some love on the Connecticut Whale, stopping 40-plus shots before being replaced by Brooke Waleshko. But just a dominant win.
Dominant indeed, and that's, you know, what we've become accustomed to when it comes to the Boston Pride.
And you may be able to answer that better than I. I hate to say it on the part of Connecticut Whale fans, but has there ever been a season where a team has gone winless in the NWHL?
Winless? No, I don't believe so. Winless?
I believe, was it in season 1 or 2, a squad only had maybe 3 wins?
That would be 4 wins for the then New York Riveters. But Lexi Lang with a star.
The 3rd of the game. I think we have a pretty good idea of the next 2. Mary Parker with the Hattie. 2nd star of the evening. And with the shutout, Victoria Hansen, 1st star honors of the game. And in front of a great crowd here again, the Boston Pride, they are able to get their win. And looking at the final stats for the shots on goal, it's going to be 58-18 in favor of the Boston Pride. We thank you, fans, for watching on Twitch TV, and the best part, you can go right over and catch some more of that Whitecaps Buttes action. Whitecaps, on my last count, up 4-1 in that game. They got on the Buttes a little early. But we hope you all enjoy it. For Erica Ayala, I am Sam Fryman. Kevin Booth, again, doing a great job on camera, getting a lot of love in the chat. But we will see you next time here on November 30th at Warrior Ice Arena.